I like South Park. It may not be your cup of tea, and that's totally understandable. A lot of its humor is toilet humor, and that could put people off. But South Park to this day remains one of the smartest and ballsy shows on television, adding commentary to life and society. It's not without its flaws, like the whole 20th season, that was just one big giant flaw. But it wouldn't still be on the air if it didn't have some substance to it. I recently watched the episode Put It Down, featuring South Park's newest gay couple, Tweek and Craig. And while watching the episode, I had a thought. Why can't I have that representation in the Marvel movies, or Wonder Woman, or... And then it hit me. Fucking South Park has better LGBT representation than a lot of mainstream media today. And the show has been doing it for a while now. Not to say that it's perfect.
Mrs. Cartman is a hermaphrodite. She did have a penis.
I'm just saying that, one, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators, have never shied away from it. And two, over the 21 seasons that it has been on the air, South Park's depiction of queer issues has been pretty consistent and has given a solid representation over the years. And I want to know why mainstream media can't catch up with a show that everyone thought would destroy democracy. So let's take a look at why representation sucks in mainstream media right now by comparing it to South Park, which I know they'll love.
Everything is super when you're, don't you think I look cute in this hat?
To figure out why mainstream media is lacking, we need to take a look at the treatment of LGBT characters in both mediums. And there's a lot of ways that representation is mishandled, but at the risk of this video running long, I'm going to talk about 3 big underlying themes that I see in mainstream media today. And those are stereotypes, barrier gaze, and something I call gay for pay.
Any of these could be exchanged for women and people of color too. We can make representation better all around, you know. It's not fucking rocket science.
South Park came out in 1997, and in the 4th episode of season 1, we get our first look at representation in the show. In the episode, Stan's dog Sparky is gay. So Stan takes on the role of the parent finding out that his child is gay, which is pretty ridiculous in only how accurate it was. At first, Stan's in denial, then he tries to train Sparky to act more straight in hopes of turning him that way, going all the way as to buying a girl dog for Sparky to date. But Sparky just wants to wear pink scarves and fuck boy dogs. Eventually, Sparky runs away to a place where he doesn't have to be oppressed. That's where Stan learns that it's okay for his dog to be who he is.
I'm sorry I tried to change you, Spark. I just didn't understand. It's really cool that we beat the spread against the Cowboys.
Yeah, all right!
And maybe we can beat them even more next year. Woo! And it's okay to be gay. What? Being gay is just part of nature and a beautiful thing.
So right from the very start, we know how Matt and Trey feel about LGBTQ people, and they're not really afraid to say it. Yeah, they'll make fun of it, just as they do everything, but they're also going to advocate for it. Though the episode isn't perfect, even before we see Al, we see his name in lights. Big gay owls, big gay animal, gay homo, sanctuary, because he's gay. Do you guys get it yet? Because this guy, he's gonna be...
Hello there, little pup. I'm Big Gay Owl.
Big gay owl. Big gay owl. He hits all the stereotypes. Lisp.
Silly gooses.
Check. Stylish clothes that would leave him half naked in the snows of Colorado. Check. Absolutely flamboyant. Got it. We got it. Thankfully, South Park's gay stereotypes have been left in the early 2000s, as they should have, and their gay characters today are more fully fleshed out and more than just their sexuality. Nowadays, stereotypes in media have mellowed out a bit, but they still exist. No more do gay men come into rooms with rainbows flying out of their asses or lesbians depicted as lumberjacks, but stereotypes are still there. They're silent but deadly. How to Get Away with Murder is a well-written, intriguing show that came out in 2014 and is still currently running. It's great, and Viola Davis acts the shit out of everyone as she deserves all the awards. And it has a crap ton of LGBT representation. At least half their main cast is queer in some way. The main gay couple on the show, Oliver and... White Oliver? Wait. Connor. Oliver and Connor both are well-rounded. They're just people just as gay people are. But after they break up in one of the seasons, Oliver contracts HIV by having unprotected sex. Thus, the played out AIDS story arc begins. You have the scare, and it's sad, and yada yada yada. Yes, the terrible HIV and AIDS epidemic did almost destroy the gay community in the 80s. But as a society, we need to understand anyone can contract HIV, not just gay people. But it was called the gay disease, and that stigma has followed the LGBT community for years. By giving one of the two only gay men in the show the disease, it's like they couldn't think of anything else to give those characters more depth, so they fell back on stereotypes. It's a slap in the face, especially because the blood donation ban that bans gay men from giving blood is still in place today. I'm all for talking about HIV, you know, like this.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for coming to my AIDS benefit yesterday. Oh, dude, was that yesterday? We forgot. Yeah, you forgot. Just like a lot of people lately have forgot that AIDS is still killing people. Seems like all of America's forgot that HIV is a serious disease. Well, did Elton John sing a song for you? No, as a matter of fact, Jimmy Buffett came instead.
It's great to have it on a show, but don't give it to the gay character. We don't need that stereotype creeping back and labeling us again. Give it to Rebecca. Nobody liked her. In South Park, when bisexuality is confronted as confused, a stereotype that's often used in real life, the character Butter states otherwise.
I'm not normal. I'll never be normal.
You're perfectly normal, Bradley.
Get back, you're just as confused as he is.
All right, that does it. I am sick and tired of everyone telling me I'm confused. I wasn't confused until other people started telling me I was. You know what I think? I think maybe you're the ones who are confused.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be confused anymore just because you say I should be. My name is Butters. I'm 8 years old, I'm blood type O, and I'm bi-curious. And even that's okay. Because if I'm bi-curious, and I'm somehow made from God, then I figure God must be a little bi-curious himself.
I think I'd like to come down now.
Granted, it is a double entendre. Butters is confused, as he always is, about, life. He's not really confused about his sexuality because he's 8. He doesn't know what bi-curious is, which is the joke. But his speech states that maybe it's the people that find something wrong with queer people that need to take a look at themselves. That's why stereotypes are powerful. It's so much easier to believe these simplified packages of groups of people because as human beings we're lazy as fuck. We'd rather take the easy black and white stereotype than to think about how complicated and gray real people are. That's why we need to rid ourselves of stereotypes when it comes to LGBT representation.
And people of color and women too.
Media influences society. What we see in the media is how we form opinions about other groups of people. It's sad but true. But when you show a group of people as only one thing, it gives off the perception that the whole group is like that. And it's harmful. When people start to think in one dimension, they stop thinking of people as human beings anymore, and then they stop treating them as such. Think of it this way. If we put stupidity in, we're going to get stupidity out. And it goes straight to the top these days. Barrier gaze is a TV and movie trope that occurs when a gay character is killed for no fucking reason other than bad writing. There's a difference between killing a character that happens to be gay and killing a gay character. If the character's arc is over, if their actions or decisions affect the plot and bring them to that point in the story, and just one of their many traits just happens to be that they're gay, then fine, kill them, I don't care. In that instance, the character was treated like any other straight character, and that's all I ask for, is equality. When queer people are killed off in movies and TV shows before we know anything about them, or just when they get a sliver of happiness, and this happens constantly, it tells the queer community that we won't get or even deserve a happy ending in stories, and we don't deserve one in life either. South Park has never had this happen. They've never killed a gay character. And I say character because they did kill Rosie O'Donnell in that one Trapper Keeper episode, but that was a one-off cameo, and also Rosie O'Donnell, so... But Garrison is president, Tweek and Craig are prospering, and we actually got to see the first main gay couple of the show get married and live happily ever after. In South Park, gays have stories and they live, kind of like real people. Unlike this bullshit.
Wait!
That was Denise from The Walking Dead. At the time, she had just gotten together with the main lesbian of the show, Tara, and their relationship just started to bud when... This is the barrier gaze trope. They killed a gay character, and for what? We barely knew Denise. Rick and the survivors had just gotten to Alexandria where Denise lived. All we got to know is that she was like a doctor, and some other rushed BS that The Walking Dead always crams in when a character is about to die. Why do they do that? So you get attached? It doesn't work. That's not how you write good characters. That's not how you write good stories. As soon as you start to learn anything new about a character on the show that's not one of these, you might as well slap a red shirt on them. So when Denise started talking about her brother...
I've been driving stick since I was 15.
No! God!
My brother...
No! God, please, no!
This wasn't even her death in the comics, it was Abraham's. And this isn't even the first one with this show. They've killed 3 gay characters. You know how many LGBT characters The Walking Dead has in total? 6! That's a lot of dead gays. It's like they're the new black people of the show. What the fuck? This one goes out to all my Yellow Rangers, all my whatever, Sulus, and any other characters deemed to be part of the LGBT community before the fucking movie comes out, only to find that there's zero signs that that character is a part of the queer community. This...
Boyfriend troubles.
Yeah. Boyfriend troubles.
Girlfriend troubles?
Doesn't count. This does not count. This they could have been brothers for all I know. What is that? They're husbands. They haven't seen each other for 5 fucking years. I mean, it's not like I want them to fuck on the floor right there, but is a peck too much to ask for? If you weren't told that Sulu was gay beforehand, would you even have noticed that? And if you did notice it, could you be 100% sure the person next to you didn't interpret it a different way? The fact that it's left ambiguous is the problem. So it doesn't count. The only reason why these characters are announced to be queer at all is to create hype. Whether you're mad because there's a gay person in a movie or you're excited about it. It's not to be inclusive, it's just to get you to come see their movie so that they can make money. You know, the people want gays now, give them gays. Don't put any effort into it, they'll see it anyway. No, I won't! I only saw those movies because they pandered to my nostalgic tie to my childhood. Damn it. Oh, and I know there's those out there that'll squawk,
Oh, but someone doesn't have to act gay for them to be gay. We don't have to see it for them to be bisexual.
yes, we fucking do! We need representation that shows queer relationships in the same way they do straight ones. It's okay to kiss and be affectionate in public. It's okay for a bi person to, you know, date and be interested in the same sex. Right now we can't just say it, we have to show it. And that brings me to South Park's newest gay couple, Craig and Tweek. There was no announcement that this was gonna happen. Trey and Matt didn't shove representation into their episode to get people to watch. They just put up their episode, as they do every week. They had the idea to poke fun at shipping culture, which is frankly a valid culture to make fun of. But what started out as a joke turned into the most authentic queer couple on South Park. The boys aren't flamingly gay, they don't take special interest in makeup or anything stereotypical like that. They're just regular elementary school boys. In the episode they got together, at first they were just shipped by the Asian girls at school who kept drawing them in yaoi fan art, which makes the whole podunk town think that they're gay and they're ecstatic about it because they want to be progressive. This makes the boys upset and confused because they didn't think that they were gay, but the more they try to push back, the more it makes them feel like and look like they're in an actual relationship, to the point where at the end of the episode they decide to continue on with it. Craig's dad goes through the same arc that Stan did with his dog, but it's all with humans now, so it makes it that much more authentic. He's angry at first, and then he grows to accept his son because he wants him to be happy.
Son, you need to listen to me. You can't fight being gay.
I used to think that being gay was a choice, but you don't get to decide. Japan picks who they pick, and that's that. I don't understand this stuff. Heck, I didn't even know Don King got raped, but I do know that if you try and resist it, you make yourself miserable your whole life. Everyone was so proud of you. I was just being selfish. I want to be proud of you too. I like gay Craig. I love you. Here's $100.
It's a heartwarming moment. It gave the kid the strength to go out and hold hands with Tweek in public. Look at that. Look at that! It's adorable! This coupling could have been a one-off thing, being that South Park has been more episodic in the past, but the creators decided to roll with it. Tweek and Craig's relationship actually plays a part in the plot for the new game that came out, The Fractured But Whole. They adopt a pet, and they go to couples therapy. And, side note, in the game you can choose your gender, cis, trans, or neutral, and the game will adapt your story to what you choose. That's just cool. Anyway, and we have the newest Creek episode, Put It Down, where Tweek is upset because he thinks the Koreans are gonna bomb him, and Craig learns a lesson on how to be there for his boyfriend instead of trying to logically fix everything. They call each other honey and babe and hold hands, and it's adorable and sweet and realistic. And that's all I ask for when I ask for good LGBT representation. Just be authentic. And I can get that from a cartoon where people eat shit, but I can't get it in a Disney movie. Like I said, South Park isn't perfect, and its LGBT representation isn't either. They have their stereotypes, queer women are shown, but very rarely, and you can make a strong argument that they don't show the transgender community in a positive light. Both Mrs. Garrison and Caitlyn Jenner are seen as freaks of nature or malformed after they go through their transformations, though Mr. Garrison is a hot mess.
Oh, good one, Sherlock. You figured that out all by yourself?
He was a hardcore closeted gay man that was also a homophobe and a psychopath, and then he transitioned into a woman, and she figured out she was a lesbian, and now she's back to being a he, and now he's Donald Trump. So pretty much like real life. But Chef puts it best.
Children, there's a big difference between gay people and Mr. Garrison. Do you understand that?
No.
He's insane. He's a character like Cartman who's set to the extreme and causes destruction no matter how good he thinks he's doing. Like Donald Trump. He's more of a device to cause reaction, so I don't really count Garrison as any part of representation. And Caitlyn Jenner is a horrible human being just like the rest of that family, so Matt and Trey showing her as a monstrosity could just be knocking her down a peg. But the way Garrison and Caitlyn Jenner are portrayed physically can and probably were interpreted that who they were was unnatural. And because that's their only physical form of transgender representation, that's not okay, no matter how funny it is. We have seen that the writers understand what being transgender is and they respect it.
How are we supposed to explain this to our children?
It's very simple. You see, Kyle, sometimes a person's outside doesn't reflect who they are on the inside.
Yeah, that's right.
They feel like there's somebody trapped in another person's body, and so they can have a surgery that makes them more into the person they see themselves as.
They've said it and now they need to show it. In their joking South Parky way. Joke about it, but also be authentic with it. That creates a positive dialogue, which they're so good at doing. Transgender people are the most targeted for hate crimes and murder of all LGBT people, and they're the least represented. South Park has had some not so great depictions of queer people over the years, but it has evolved into great representation. And the difference between them and mainstream media is that they're willing to learn and grow with the stories that they tell.
You know, in some ways, you look back at all the shows, and I mean, there's sometimes I look back at an old show and a line or position and some social commentary, and you're like, oh, like I've grown since that, but that's what it is. That's what we thought. And so it's sort of a record of our whole thought, you know, process with the good and the bad the whole way through. So, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool to be able to like work out this stuff in common, you know, because we go into stuff all the time, into shows all the time where I'm definitely coming to go, I'm pissed off about this or whatever, and through doing the show, I'm like, well, maybe I was wrong about that. 6 days later.
If only the rest of mainstream media would get on board. And I only can think of one solution that the media can do, which I don't think they ever will given the fact that they're a giant business, but it's to ask themselves, what would Matt and Trey do? South Park doesn't give a flying fuck. I know, it seems pretty obvious, they've made their living doing so, but it's an important step to representation. What fuck specifically isn't given is the one about money.
We work really hard. If we were slackers, then the first year after South Park had taken off, we would have done what everyone else does and said, great, now you all go make it and we'll make the money. But we still write every single episode ourselves, direct it, edit it, do all the voice for every single episode because we care.
Whether you actually like their content or not, they care about their work. They're not making content to make money. They make content because they have a story to tell or a message to get across. Money is just a byproduct of them trying to make something that they're proud of. And that's really the way it should be. And I asked mainstream media to get their shit together. Because with the age of the internet, we don't have to watch your stuff. The best thing that can counter mainstream media is you. Us, the people. If they don't give us what we want, we can give them the finger and go watch a bunch of new content out there online. Or even better yet, make it ourselves. So go write, film, perform, draw, make everything and anything. And if creating isn't your thing, speak out and demand better from your media. We have the technology to tell the studios what we really want through social media and other outlets if we're loud enough. Thank you so much for viewing this video. I hope you enjoyed it. A good way to find LGBT content is to go to PrideBrary.com. Go there, browse, find something to consume, talk about it, talk about the representation, whether it's good or bad. And if you know of a piece of media that's not already on the site, please submit it so that the collection can keep growing and so that other people can view it too. We have more videos lined up, so, you know, comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Until next time, I'm Jess. See you later.